Chapter 106. Likes being abused. "It's because of you that Adrian broke up with Grace, isn't it?" Diana's voice rose slightly. Her voice, along with deafening music, reached Ava's ears together. They broke up. Ava's lips curved. No wonder Grace was at a bar drowning her sorrows. The breakup was actually initiated by Adrian? Why hadn't he mentioned a single word to her? Since they'd broken up, she just needed to observe for a while. If there were no signs of reconciliation, she'd retreat from Adrian's side. "Diana, how can you assume that about me? I never wanted Grace and Adrian to break up. They probably had a misunderstanding because of me. Don't worry, I'll definitely talk to Adrian properly and tell him not to break up with Grace." As if. Diana was so angry her kidneys hurt. "Ava, are you showing off? Showing off how Adrian follows you around like a dog? Diana, please don't be so hostile toward me. Grace is my sister. Of course I want her to be happy. How could I deliberately break them up?" Ava's face was like an impenetrable wall. No matter what Diana said, she always responded in a gentle, sincere tone with fake words that Diana absolutely hated hearing. She simply hung up with a sharp click. Diana looked at Grace, who was still sitting at the bar ordering more drinks from the bartender. "Grace, can you please stop degrading yourself like this over a man? If he wants to be Ava's dog, just let him. It was just a handkerchief he gave you once when you were crying as a kid. He's not worth your love at all." It wasn't like Adrian had saved Grace's life. She couldn't understand at all why her friend was so devoted to Adrian, falling helplessly in love just because he offered a handkerchief once when she cried. She could only say it was absurd. Even if Adrian was excellent, he didn't love Grace, yet Grace insisted on hanging herself on this one tree. She looked at her friend with the frustration of seeing potential wasted. When his legs were disabled, Ava dumped him like a dog. Now that Ava's back, with just a crook of her finger, he goes running. This kind of man is naturally masochistic. He'll never remember your kindness to him. I think he has Stockholm Syndrome. He likes being abused. He's a masochist among masochists. Grace looked at Diana with tear-filled eyes. "But I just love him. I've loved him for so many years. Loving him has become something I must do. I can't stop loving him." Diana. "All for nothing. Fine, fine, fine. Keep loving him then. Keep loving him. I don't need a fortune teller to know you will get divorced 8 times in this lifetime." Diana snatched the glass from Grace's hand and forcibly dragged her away. At the Hart residence. Why did Grace drink so much? Monica looked worriedly at Grace, who was being supported by Diana, completely drunk and unconscious. Because her daughter had been in a car accident and she couldn't find her, she'd been unable to sleep and had come to sit in the living room. She hadn't expected to see Grace being helped in by Diana as soon as she came downstairs. "Mrs. Hart, I'm leaving Grace with you. It's late. I should go home." "All right." Monica took Grace from her. Then she saw Diana, who had turned to leave, turn back around. "Although this isn't my place to tell you, Grace has always been the type to share good news, but not bad. I don't think she'll necessarily tell you these things." "What's wrong?" Monica asked. "I just called Adrian to ask him to come pick up Grace, but Ava answered the phone." Diana paused, then continued. "I heard from Grace that Adrian told her they're breaking up, and the wedding scheduled for November won't happen as planned. As for the reason for the breakup, I think you can guess without me saying it." While Monica was still in a daze, Diana had already turned and left. Monica looked down at Grace, whose cheeks were flushed and whose eyes were swollen. She was almost instantly certain of the truth of Diana's words. This was indeed something her daughter would do. But didn't her daughter already have a boyfriend? Why would she still interfere between Grace and Adrian? Soon enough, Monica learned the reason. Early the next morning, just as Monica came downstairs, a servant said there was a visitor. Wesley sat on the living room sofa with dark circles under his eyes, his hair slightly disheveled, his clothes not as neat as before. He looked like he hadn't slept all night. An ominous feeling suddenly rose in Monica's heart. "Wesley, why are you here so early?" Monica had the servant bring Wesley something to drink. Wesley waved his hand, refusing the servant's gesture. "Mrs. Hart, I wanted to ask if Ava came home. I can't reach her." Wesley's voice was unusually hoarse. If when Wesley called yesterday, Monica had only thought they were having a disagreement, judging from Wesley's state today. And what Diana had said last night, she vaguely felt these two might have broken up. Monica. She hasn't come back. Did you two have a fight? Wesley's throat tightened. He didn't know how to broach this topic. He hadn't agreed with his mother to break up with Ava, because he'd already promised Ava before that he was willing to accept being child-free. But Ava must have heard those words and overthought things, which was why she left the hospital without a word. When he returned to the villa looking for Ava, the servant said Ava hadn't come home at all. He called, but Ava had blocked his number. He didn't want to make a big scene, so for now he hadn't asked friends to help him call Ava. After waiting all night, as soon as it was light, he came to the Hart house, never expecting that she hadn't come back to the Hart house either. Adrian Pierce's face suddenly flashed through his mind, but he quickly shook his head in denial. Ava had promised him she wouldn't have too much contact with Adrian. She couldn't possibly go to Adrian. Besides, Adrian was getting married in just over 2 months. After finishing breakfast, Ava walked upstairs with light steps. Just as she pushed open the bedroom door, she was pulled inside. "Adrian, I'm injured. If you're this rough, I'll get hurt again," Ava pouted, looking dissatisfied at the person holding her waist. "Why didn't you wait for me before getting up?" "I was hungry. I didn't eat anything last night. I woke up at 6 from hunger." She extended her index finger and gently poked Adrian's abdomen, her sweet voice full of concern. "I wanted to let you sleep a bit longer." The hand at her waist gradually tightened. Ava pressed infinitely close to Adrian. He lowered his head, his lips near her ear, and said in a low voice, "Early in the morning. Don't start a fire." Ava withdrew her hand as if startled. "Adrian, I didn't mean to." The girl helplessly twisted her fingers together. Soon she put on a forced smile. "Adrian, did you fight with Grace yesterday? When you go to work today, remember to find time to apologize to Grace. Girls care about face. As her boyfriend, you need to take the initiative, okay?"